Staring at the Tree, Chapter 5, A Message to Myself. When I stopped fighting the river that was taking me to the peace, that peace was trying to carry me to the ocean. The older I was getting, the more I leaned into a life of greatness. I just relaxed the urge to fight. When I remembered that I know how to float, if I just do what I used to do as a child. And as a child, I would walk from my trailer to the lake. All the lake kids spent every all the lake kids spent all day every day at the lake in the summer. We moved out to the lake in 1994, before I started pre-K. My entire life, I have felt displaced or homeless. In that feeling, I have been able to learn to adapt easily. Things that would stress me, some things that would stress me things that would stress someone else out. Those things do not faze me. I have learned that getting upset at something I have no control over is useless. Spending time worried about something that cannot change Spending time worried about something that cannot be changed with my action. Worrying or problem solving someone else's problem does nothing but slow my growth. So, Betty, stop worrying about how Linda can afford that vacation. It's doing nothing to grow your life. If you are if you spent all that time that you spend jealous of Linda, you could grow your wallet to go on vacation with Linda. So, Betty, don't be bitter no mo. Go to the ocean with Linda. Use that time to build something better. And as a girl, I would walk away from the drama of life, lay on top of the water. Everyone would stare as I could float for hours. Sometimes I would float so long that it would carry me past the buoy. In the floats on top of the water, I stare at the sun. I thought and thought, cried and cried. If my back was laying flat on the top of the water, then no one could see the sadness on my face. I could low key cry at the beach. Hours, days, weeks, months, and years were spent floating while I stare at the sun, praying, waiting, and wishing for better. My family was dying. My mom was crying. My family at war. I just wanted to be a kid. A normal kid. Do normal kid stuff. I did not want the life I was given. However, that life chose me. I could not stay forever in the water. All I could help is that my talks with the sun at the lake, those prayers would be heard. Now I am 31 years old. Peace is getting closer and closer. Many years I thought that peace was a dollar amount in a bank. Many years I worked and worked to get the number to rise. However, when it was the highest, I was the saddest. Every clue or message throughout my life on what peace was for me, it became really clear that the universe had been trying to tell me. My life in December 2020 was a lot like how I felt as a child, trapped into a situation that was painful, being caught in a crashing wave that you cannot stand up in. Every time you stand, then the next wave, then the next. I just wanted to get to a spot in the water that was calm. I could bring my legs up and take a deep breath and float for hours. There is a thrill in being in the wave that is crashing. However, it can kill you. Your life is more valuable than having some fun. Find a safer fun. There's a lot of fun and thrill to be had in the world. You just must look for it. In December 2020, I knew that I was a lot stronger than I was when I was a little girl. I had done the hardest part of stand up. I had done the hardest part, standing up and walking out of the wave. Now I just need to swim out to wait for the wave that I wanted. If you fail, try again and keep trying until you get that wave that you wanted, that big wave that that you jump up quick, then you ride that thing until you hit sand. And at the end of it, you will not remember all those times you ate sand. You will remember the one good ride on that big wave. You are so glad that you just did not get your flip-flops and go. You are so glad that you just did not get your flip-flops and go home. You stayed and tried again. That one time of a big ride on the big wave that you wanted. And oh boy, aren't you glad you waited? My entire life I have been praying to bring peace to my life. Whatever peace looked like for us, bring it. And as a child, I could not do anything about any of it. And even though I tried, when I was able, I joined everything that I could to take me away from my home. I wanted to run as fast as I could away from those problems. I could not. I was a kid. I just must accept it. Something that I craved so badly as a child, making my own decisions. With decisions comes great responsibility, and people tend to be instant gratification with decision making. I won't last I want long lasting gratification of a successful life. I do not want shallow little moments of high. I want a life that makes me high. Trust when Trust we all love to get high and escape our problems. But what if you worked at fixing your problems? If you have less problems, then you follow your dream in the pursuit of making decisions that get you closer to your dream. You will wake up one day and go, I'm living my dream. Only you know what that is. If you fill your head with worst case scenarios, that will happen. Fill your head full of your dreams. If you must make hard decisions to get to that dream, one day when you wake up and you are at your vision for your life that you want to live, those hard decisions will only be a memory of something that needed to be done. All hikes are hard. Every hike that every hike had that moment you wish you stayed in the car, that hill or terrain. Then you get to the top, the part when everyone is standing and staring at God, staring at the mountain you wanted to be at. When you're at the top of the mountain you wanted to be at, to get to the mountain that I wanted to be at, I had to release control to the universe and let my body carry me down the emotional river. And at the end of the emotional roller coaster is the ocean. Maybe the ocean is just what I needed. The ocean is big and limitless. It's not held within bounds. That is what I was asking of the universe. When the universe pushed me off the mountain that was not meant for me, when I went tumbling into a familiar river, in the water, in water, I know how to survive. As a child, the water was my safe place. If I was too emotional as a small child, I would just take a walk to the lake. When I was too young to walk by myself, I got my sister to take me. If it was a hot summer day, you could find me floating on top of the lake water, trying to solve the world's problems at 9 years old. There were no problems that I could solve as a child. However, coping mechanisms that I have learned over the years of hardship, using using the same coping mechanism as a child, those things that I reached for joy as a child, those things are the foundation of who I am. Finding the foundation of who I am is the most important thing to find in the journey. In order to heal, I needed to relearn who I am. How many years I just suit how many years I just followed suit with what the world told me to do. Went to community college and settled down with the last boyfriend from high school, which was unlike me. I wanted to run away from my hometown as soon as I could. And when I was 21, I did not. I started a family, and instead of starting over, years and years, I regretted just not putting my clothes in a trash bag and start over. I know I can. I start over and over all the time. People get scared when they start over by themselves. However, it's a lot easier to start over when you're 21. I could just pick up my stuff and pretend to be 21. Your devil and your God is within your head. There is a universal law of attraction. What you give, you get. Do upon others will be done unto you. Control your thoughts to good. Block your thoughts from bad, and life is really this simple. Most people overcomplicate things. Be good to get good, and when you are good, you feel good. When you feel good, life gets better. When life gets better, you get happy. Fight off resentment. Have faith it will get better. It's easy to say, find good. You must be the good. The good does not live in a box at the store. Your good is within your soul. If you got a dirty soul, you will get that back in your life. Ever wonder why people are just happier than you and you get jealous because they have more? Just be happy for them. Just rooting for people will make your soul lighter. Jealousy is a useless emotion. There is no productivity in being jealous. If you're jealous, you need to work that into your soil. Jealousy will do nothing but bring a big pile of crap in your joy garden. Spread that crap out and move on. People spend a lot of time worrying about others' behaviors. She was this way to me. He did that to me. How can they afford that? Why do I not have that? Change that and be grateful and clap for others in their winning season. You will get a winning season a lot faster if you stop holding resentment for not having what others have. If you spend all that energy to thinking about how you could be better, think about how you can transform your unhappiness. Instead of being bitter at Betty for the new car, be happy for Betty, clap for Betty, wish for Betty to have better. And guess what? The universe loves shit like that. Pretend that universe is your mom watching you. Why? Because she is. People are usually good to be seen. Just be good to be good. Be good when no one is watching. The amount of wasted time on the hamster wheel of shit that don't matter, get off of that wheel. Step off. Be the solution. Even if I may not agree with something or someone, I can listen and I might learn something. The end.